We have quorum.
Mayor, next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. You receive a motion.
Entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we have some corrections that need to be made. Second. On the initial roll call, Scott Meeham was no longer on council. On item number 4, the description needs to be corrected. Also on item number 4, the person, you have Roy seconding the motion. He was not present. And then on the vote, Bryant and Roy were not present. And then lastly, on number 5, on the vote, Sands was not present.
I don't have the minutes in front of me, but the nomination, the
Right.
second was
Okay.
Adrian.
Change that. Any other corrections? Thank you, Councilman. I'll make the corrections.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
We didn't get a motion second, did we?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Lisa, motion, Emily, second.
Okay, guys. Thank you. All right, Eric Shine,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Lisa D. Gifford,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead.
Yes.
Motion to approve the consent agenda is approved.
Mayor, they have the agenda as a public forum, so you receive comments from the public. If anyone wishes to speak and address the council.
Open public forum at 6:33.
Evening. I'm Scott Baxter. I'm building my 12th and final home, I hope, on 8569 Liddell. It's the end of the road. When you see the sign that says dead end, that's me. So I am opposing 2 things to the master plan. I'm opposing the Liddell extension. Several reasons. Cave Springs does not have it in their master plan. To cross the wetland is going to be a very expensive endeavor to solve a problem that doesn't exist yet. And I also think the Sharp Springs connection coming across from interstate to the historic church, I think that's also not where the money needs to be going. Thank you.
My name is Morgan McCurdy, and I also live on Liddell Avenue. We are building a house currently with my 3 children. We are opposing that you extend Liddell and the extension between Spring Creek. I believe that's the road that y'all are trying to come down on. My kids ride bikes nightly. It's supposed to be a dead end. It's just gonna cause too much traffic to come through there, and we'd appreciate it if you would not move forward with that. Thank you.
My name is Kyle Flynn. I live at the end of Liddell Road at 8581 Liddell. I actually am along the line of where the road is supposed to go through. The bridge that you're going to have to build will be very extensive. It'll be ungodly costly. And I oppose that we put the money forward to extending Liddell Road. Thank you.
Any further comment from the public? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment at 6:35.
Mayor, under old business, there are ordinance and a resolution. Prior to the ordinance, we might entertain a motion to suspend 1/2 of the rule and read all ordinances tonight by title only. If anyone wants to make that motion. You? Someone?
Say it again.
Yeah, we've divided the motion, the rule into two now. And so if anyone want to move that we would read all the ordinances by just title only tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Emily Breach,
Yes.
Lisa De Gifford,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Brian Mooney. I called you twice, excuse me. Motion to approve the procedural motion by title only is approved.
And so, maybe this is on the second reading?
This is the third.
So this would be a reading in which you would vote. You said you'd receive the
You have
motion.
the second, you have to read the second procedural motion?
Well, does anyone want to make a motion that we read them all in one day, or?
Are we gonna go up on each, or do we wanna do that on each ordinance?
I would move that we only do it once.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Adrian Flores,
No.
Emily Reach,
No.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
No.
Lisa De Gifford,
No.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
No.
and Bryant Sands.
Yes.
Motion fails.
And somebody just reading the title, ordinance to adopt amended master street plan for the city of Lowell, Arkansas. And you'd receive a motion, it's on third reading, when to pass.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, I would like to talk about the Liddell extension, as previously mentioned by the citizens. Was there any other concern that was given to us through the planning commission, through the process, or?
I have an email from one of the people that lives there. I'm gonna read it for us, if y'all are cool with that.
Please.
Please bear with me. I'm dyslexic, so reading's not my strong suit, so bear with me. It is from Jerry Holder. It says, Mr. Sands, thank you for taking my call this morning regarding Liddell Ave. I own 21 acres on the north side of the west end of Liddell. While 29 acres sounds like an opportunity for the future development, the large floodplain in the center of the property makes that impossible. If it was suitable for neighborhood development, I can assure you the developers would be knocking down my door to buy the property. They are not calling me. Since my wife and I have 4 grandchildren in Northwest Arkansas, 3 in Lowell, and 1 more on the way, we are in the process of planning our retirement home in the property, and I can assure you it will never be developed by us in anything more than that. Please note that Cave Springs recently updated their master street plan, and they do not have Brown Road going over to the east to connect to Liddell Ave. They turned Brown up to the north to connect it to Berdean Lane and then to 264. The main reason for this is the floodplain to cross the creek, which would make a connection between Brown Road and Liddell Ave, was very expensive due to the required size of bridge required. To summarize my position, this is being added to the Lowell Master Street Plan, see below. 1, the proposed extension of Liddell will not connect to Cave Springs Street network, as Cave Springs is not proposing a corresponding extension of the East Brown, and due to this, the street would not serve anyone. There are significant constraints that would make the street connection infeasible. Crossing a floodplain, bridge requirements, steep slopes, these constraints make construction of the street costly and impractical as part of the potential development process. The bridge alone will be in the several millions of dollars in cost. 3, A road should be added to the master street plan when there is a high probability of significant development in the corridor of near future. This corridor does not show that opportunity. 4, this would negatively impact my property due to the only location I can build a house on the south side due to the floodplain, which will be right up against the road's location. My ask is that you remove the proposed extension of Liddell Ave from the master street plan. And then he also included the Cave Springs plan in an attachment, which I can send you guys later. And that is from Jerry Holder.
Does Jerry have an address on that?
He did not include it on this one.
Okay, just wondering.
But he's at the, when we were talking, he's at the end of Liddell.
He's my next neighbor.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Does everybody understand what we're talking about? The dirt road dead end that goes off to the end of Liddell that dead ends into private property?
And I don't know if you guys also looked at like where those roundabouts are starting to go. Half them, some of the ones that are on that area on that side, they don't make sense as it sits today. One connects to a road that doesn't exist. And obviously the master street plan is set for future developments. Hear you. We've done this a couple times. We've done this historically. I've sat and we've done this, and we've also made changes to the master street plan. Granted, there's always conversation about how this is a living, breathing document that is fluid and changes and all these things, but I think that it sits at this time. I think that this document should not be passed as is within the subset of Ward 3. If you guys would like to pass the rest of yours, more power to you, go for it. But I think that there's some changes that we need to make to this document for Ward 3. So my recommendation and my request to you guys is to not pass this tonight. But if we do, to take Ward 3 off of this update, and then we can revisit it at a later date. But as is, if we can just remove Ward 3 off there, except for the one that is sitting at Mount Hebron.
So that would make it a little messy.
Absolutely.
I think that what we need to do is to ask for it to go back to have updates taken
Absolutely.
before we go
Here for
forward.
it. Yep.
To do that, we would need our motion and second removed to let this die so that we can go back and get taken care of. Actually, not die, but just send it back with notes, if I'm correct.
We could do a roll call and just.
Well, if we just say no, can they bring in the master stream plan back again?
Sure.
Okay, I didn't know if
have to go back to
sometimes when we vote no, that can't come back, so I was wanting it just to come back with revisions.
They come back. You guys could also make a motion to send it back to the planning commission.
Yes, that's what I was
Like
trying
a
to state.
superseding motion if you
Yes.
want. Either one.
Motion to send this back to planning.
Well, we do have a motion on the table.
Second, or I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
You can ask the person who made the motion if I can, would you withdraw, please?
Who made the motion? Can we read back?
I think it
Steve
was
made the
Steve.
motion.
Can you rescind your
So
motion
rescind the motion
Yes.
and
and the
put a
second?
motion down to send it back to planning?
Yep. That's correct.
I will rescind my motion to pass this and put a new motion to send it back to planning commission
Roy, will you withdraw your motion?
for updates.
Planning. Is
Or
it
planning.
commission?
We have a new motion to send this back to planning.
Steve made the motion. Who's doing the second?
Second.
Brian?
Second by Bryant.
Thank you. Roll call?
Any further discussion?
I'm just questioning the roundabout number 5. So we have potential roundabout at the corner of Pleasant Grove and Concord. Then we have one at school in Concord. And then they want to put another one. I can't even tell. What street is that, Karen? Do you know what? It's going to punch through. Is it Garrett will punch through?
You'll punch through to Old Wire
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about the one on,
I'm talking about the one on Concord and it's just right down, it's like,
you're gonna have a 3-lane road passing, crossing Concord.
at that location? Okay, I just needed a little more explanation on it.
So it's whatever intersections you guys feel if you leave there, a light, roundabout, the roundabout will keep the traffic moving.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't back up traffic on Concord, but that's up to you guys.
Okay. I was just, like I said, I was just curious because I know it's a future, in the future plan. It just seemed very close to the other one.
And I wanted to touch on something, I had it in my notes that he brought up, where it says the coordination with Cave Springs is needed. Has Cave Springs agreed to this at all?
Agreed to what?
Agreed to what?
So like, what he was saying, like, do we have it, like, that is it in their transport plan?
So their master, the master street plan that they passed does not connect those roads. That's what he's saying, yeah. And then after the meeting, I'll shoot it out to whomever, so that way we can do a cross-reference for you guys.
Are we waiting on the roll call?
Any further discussion?
I have a question. There's a roundabout number 7 and a roundabout number 5, I believe. Now that road does not exist yet, correct? The one connecting those two?
That's correct.
Okay. It's not labeled.
It's Garrett.
Okay.
Where it comes through. So 5 is the Concord one and 7 is
Okay, I'm sorry.
Old Wire, I think,
In that case, I mean 7 and 6. It's kind of.
or 6,
Yeah.
Honeysuckle and where Garrett
Honeysuckle
would come
and
through.
Old Wire.
Right,
That road does not exist yet, correct?
correct.
Okay. And the road between 6 and 71, that does not exist yet, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Parts of the right of way, please.
Okay.
And Rogers has built their portion of Carmax of that road extension. They have half the roadway. And the development on our property off Oak Wood and Dixieland will develop that other half.
So Karen, who ultimately would pay the bill to cross Garrett over the interstate? Does RDOT do that? Would that be on the cities? Would that,
That's Rogers master plan.
so Rogers would foot the bill for that bridge?
That's a future discussion between Lowell and Rogers.
Okay,
Have that discussion, but it is on their master plan.
okay.
It is kind of aligns with theirs.
Because technically, when it crosses over the interstate next to Carmax, that is still Rogers right there, right? Or as soon as it,
Half is Lowell, half is Rogers.
gotcha.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Eric Schein,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes,
Bryant Sands,
Yes, I just want to make something abundantly clear, because I know that it might be confusing, because there's a lot of new faces, that all we're doing right now is just sending this back to planning, so they can come back with a different plan that takes away some of these, or revisits any of these roads. We're not approving any of this street plan tonight. Just
That
want
is-
to make this abundantly clear for you guys, just so that way everyone's on the same page. Cool. Yes.
Brian Moody,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay.
And Mayor, y'all might send specific, observations, requests, to staff, planning staff, and then, of course, attend planning commission meetings so that you guys can be involved in that process as well. Mayor, the next item is a resolution that was put on the table to appropriate funds and authorize the mayor to enter into a contract with FCS and Goldman Company of fire impact study AC of Lowell, Arkansas, and you'd receive a motion.
So moved.
Second. Chief,
Sir?
we get heartburn.
What's that, sir?
I've got heartburn.
Okay.
When it says scope, and the entire page is blank. What is the scope?
The scope,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to assess the needs of the city beyond what tax dollars, what tax revenue funds. We've had this in place since 2005. We just,
Yeah.
we haven't even taken another look at it since 2021, or since 2005, which is 21 years ago.
Right.
So I would just like to make sure that we're where we need to be.
Yep.
I do know that fire apparatus has rose in cost 294% since this was put into place.
Yep.
And this is one of the things that we can fund fire apparatus with.
I want it in writing, what we're looking at, what our scope is. It's not in writing in our Exhibit A that we were given. Our Exhibit A has a
It's-
blank page.
It's blank, the whole page is blank.
So you don't have the technical proposal, all that in there?
We've got a bunch of marketing materials.
We have a proposal document that shows kind of a general idea, but it was written and dated before any negotiation, so we don't have deliverables, we don't have revision procedures, completion criteria, any of that kind of stuff to judge.
And yes, I helped pass the one in '05.
Yes.
And so I know what we should be looking at, and I don't have any of it.
So we're reevaluating, I mean, we have to follow the state statute.
Right, but we have to give them a scope of what we're looking at. And so our scope, what we're asking them to visit is blank.
Is FCS opposed to rewriting their contract?
Do what, sir?
Is FCS opposed to rewriting their contract?
No, I don't believe so. I just need to bring this to you guys to see if you can if we can fund this
Okay,
and break it out.
because it seems that this is exactly the same contract as we had last time.
It is.
And-
The last time you did not have the packet included.
Right, that's
Was what
just
was
marketing
asked for.
materials is all it is.
Right.
And it's not even the same document technically. Any lawyer would look at this, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, would look at this and say, well, those are two different documents based on the page numbers alone.
Okay.
And so that does not constitute part of this agreement.
Okay, so the background, all that stuff, the work plan on page 20 of section 4. The objectives to review, evaluate the existing impact fee framework, identify the cost eligible capital improvements needed to serve the future development. It goes in to talk about how it needs to, we have to take the whole capital improvement plan, master street plan of the city, apparatus replacement plan, all those things, which is also referenced in state statute.
That's fine, but we need to put that into our contract that we're signing. This is a different document, and it's also just marketing materials,
Okay. But it tells you in the work plan
which is a different document.
what they're going, right, and that's what was asked for last time.
So what we need from FCS is to take the contract, not the extra document that was provided, but the original contract, and put in that what we're asking for.
Everything.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, I know on here on Exhibit A, it says Project Police and Fire Impact Study. What specific capital projects are anticipated, well, that's what we're trying to think, to be included in the impact fee? For example, like, future police facilities renovations, expansions, or the recently acquired JP Hunt properties, would that be included in the assumptions produced by this, since it's listing out police and fire impact fee study?
Yes, it could. It will also fund a training facility, fire station, fire apparatus, all those things. And I have an apparatus replacement plan already in place to fund it with given cost by year.
Emily, what we'll be real careful about is making sure that we're not funding things we've already planned, that are already designed. Impact fees are real clear. They're for future growth, right? So you pass them, and then that money gets banked for things that occur, the impact on the community because of growth. So, like if we had let's say an expansion planned right now, and we had it planned out, we had plans, we wouldn't fund that. Unless maybe we had it conceptualized, we didn't need it yet. Probably wouldn't do that, right? We'd probably design it when we needed it. So when we need things because of growth, that's when this money can be used. And we'll be real careful about that. Like it built a new station basically, right? So that station didn't exist before the Eric remembers.
But we also have things in there like the training facility, which we've already funded. So are we
Correct, we're talking about two different things. We have a training tower, and then we can add a training building, things that we can use to bolster our training as a whole, the whole division.
Does this tie in at all with the funds that we see at the very end of the packet?
I couldn't understand, sir.
Does this contract tie in any way to the funds that we see at the very end of the packet? The budget amendments? Do you know?
The budget numbers?
The budget amendments?
No.
Okay.
You're not talking about this packet, you're talking about the packet as a whole.
Yes, does this contract tie in any way?
No, sir, it does not. Those are special accounts.
Okay, so they in no way relate
No,
to each
sir.
other?
At this point, what is the pleasure of the council?
I move that we send it back to FCS for revisions.
We already have a motion and a second, so we need to rescind those motions in a second. Steve and Roy?
Would it be possible to rescind those so we can send this back to FCS?
If we haven't done a fire impact in 21 years, I think we need to do a fire impact.
Well, absolutely, that we definitely do. However,
So if you're asking me if I want to rescind my motion on this one, I would say no.
well, yes, we do need to have this done. However, we need to make sure it's done correctly and that we're getting what we need to out of it as well.
And that's what I'm trusting this man to do.
It's better to have it in writing as well.
I don't think that he would do it without having it in writing.
Not him.
Whether we have it in front of us is a different story.
We're hiring a company to do a job for us. We want to make sure that in the contract we sign with them, we expect them to do that job and not just leave the expectation blank to do whatever they want to.
And none of us are going to oversee that either. He is.
Actually, sir, that is exactly our job.
Our job is to appropriate the money for him to get that done.
And to legislate. 3 separate and equal powers.
But to answer your question, no, I'm not willing to rescind my motion.
All you're wanting to have done is send it back and get like the scope put in there, right?
Yes.
Like what the money is going towards to be used. Right?
Exactly. Just have it in writing, exactly what we're getting and what we're expecting from FCS. Just like any contract should between two parties.
Amend it so that way we can't sign it until that's done.
And I think it's a little irresponsible to give them basically a check and say, have fun, do whatever you want to. We don't have any legal recourse if you don't do what we're asking you to do.
Hey, Chief, do you have this?
Do you have the
He's asking for,
information
do you
he's
have
asking
it?
about?
Like, is it in the firehouse? Like, is it somewhere close by that,
What we use,
like the scope?
what the scope is going to be.
Like,
I don't
since
have
it's on the
a
link
written
on the
scope
document.
from FCS, but on page 20, it references that the legal basis for impact fees in Arkansas. It tells you what they're going off of.
Can I
And
see your page 20 to compare it to my page 20?
This just says
section four.
background.
Just as background.
This is
Yeah, right here.
a legal basis for,
Sorry, I read so slow, I'm so sorry.
Brian, while you're reading that, can I just make a comment that on the resolution, and I don't have last month's with me, but on the resolution we have now, it just says fire impact study. I believe the previous one said police and fire impact study, and the project says police and fire impact study. So however we end up doing this, we need to tweak the wording to match.
Two?
No, the police was taken out.
Huh?
I think the police was taken out.
But the police isn't taken out on the contract.
On the exhibit, yeah.
On
This is
Exhibit
last
A.
month's.
It still says police and fire. But the resolution just says fire.
I mean, what y'all could do is you could say, you know, to the chief or to the mayor, if you like this idea, go forward, but do not sign this contract until you've got the scope that tells you that you're doing a fire impact fee study in accordance with Arkansas law. You could order that from tonight. That's one of your options.
Do we have to rescind the
You can amend
motions?
the motion to do that.
Do you want to do that? Amend the motion to get the scope?
Amend the motion?
So what
I
do you
would be
say?
willing to amend the motion.
Just say that you tell the mayor, do not sign this until you get the exact scope of work that I think Adrian's talking about. And it complies with Arkansas law as far as what they're gonna do. You could do that, and then it could,
But will we see that?
You can ask him to, right now, to add that into it.
It would not have to come back before us. It would just be based on trusting the mayor alone to
We've been here
Unless
To-
she adds it into the
execute that
amendment.
amendment.
and then you could say, and bring it to the council next time, yeah, too, say that too. So bring it back to us after it's signed as well.
So that's exactly the same as saying, as rescinding the motion.
Justin, we want to get this
So-
for you. We just want to make sure that
I
everything
understand.
is done.
The actual legal notice that we sent out for the RFQ, it states in the first paragraph, the city of Lowell, Arkansas is soliciting statements of qualifications for qualified consulting firms to prepare a comprehensive impact fee study for police and fire services in accordance with Arkansas Code 1456-103 and City of Lowell Ordinance 719. So that was the request.
So it was a request for police and fire.
Was it?
But
Yes.
now the resolution says just fire.
Could I ask why that was changed,
I did not change it.
Mr. Mayor?
I was asked to change it.
By, by who?
Oh, it was fire last time, wasn't it? We did only fire last time.
It was, fire was in.
Police and fire.
It was
Police
police
and
and
fire
fire.
last month.
So where did the change originate?
Let me see if I can find an email I gave. I would have done that.
Good question.
In the interest of not taking up the whole night, would it be better to table this again for another month?
I really would like to hear the answer to this question.
I don't know how long it's gonna take, is what I'm saying.
Can we push this to the end of the night? Is that a thing? No? Okay.
And to respond to you, Mr. Whitehead, If we just table it, we're just tabling it as is, I believe. I think we would want to have it rewritten to.
And that's fine. Just trying not to be here till 10 o'clock.
I don't think any changes are.
To be clear, you want the contract to state the scope of work to be performed
Yes, please.
in the contract itself?
Yes.
Okay.
And just fire only.
Have you guys gotten the contract back, or is it just the RFQ?
No, we have a contract here. It's actually included in there. It should be.
Got it. Yeah,
So it was the one you had last month for the 42,000?
Got where Jay asked for it. Mayor and Adrian, I'm not finding the email where we changed it. I know it got changed.
And no one seems to remember asking the question first, that it be changed?
No, nobody. Not Jay, not the mayor. I think that's who it would have been.
Finance.
Okay.
But the last correspondence with Jay is, it's fire only.
When was that?
Back in May.
Would have been before or after May 14th. So it would have been before the last May packet came out. So the update would have had to happen after May 14th. Could have been a typo, could have been a typing error, a copy over error or something.
I know that I know that I was definitely told it was not to be police, but I just can't find that. So maybe I wrote it with police in it first time,
Okay.
and I was corrected, but can't find it.
So we do intend for this to only be fire, not police?
Well, that changes your scope that you first put out, so
Yeah, the
change-
original
the
RFQ.
original RFQ was just for fire, since we could not find a fire study that was done.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
So there's just one for fire then.
I remember it being done by the chief.
It wasn't done
So,
correctly.
but the RFQ was only for fire.
Right.
Do we need one for police?
Other cities haven't done, yes.
We were intending to do one for police.
We've looked at it as a possibility, yes, since
When
other
was the last
cities.
time we did one for police?
We've never done one.
Cool. So that means this one should be police and fire, or can we do them separate? Is there cost savings to do them together? Is it a different agency? Is it the same agency? Is
The
it,
study would be, you'd say, definitely substantially if you did the study together.
okay, and you RFQ'd it out with just fire?
I've got fire and police.
So you have fire and police. So we have fire and police. It's
Okay.
just labeled wrong.
So the
Yes,
money,
the RFQ, the original RFQ was fire and police.
Cool.
so the money we're paying here would be for both, actually?
Yes.
Yes. So we need to update the name of the resolution. Right? Which Steve's already said that he's cool with. To updating.
To amend it.
To amend it, to say the right name. We need the name to be changed, and then it to get signed and it to be sent out to council or presented at the next meeting with it in scope?
Yes.
All the things.
Fire and police in the contract in writing.
Cool.
Both fire and police.
Do we have all our marching orders?
So we're asking for two resolutions
No.
or two motion changes?
An amendment to the,
You want a name
Resolution.
change and also sending it back?
Well, we would have to send it back to get it rewritten.
Okay. So we don't need the name change.
Do need the name change. Well,
We need a name
We're
change.
sending it back to,
so it goes back
Please.
to,
go back to rescinding the motion.
yes, sir.
Okay, I will rescind the motion then.
Roy, will you rescind? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to take this back to staff so we can make changes.
Just amend it.
Just to amend it.
What we, amend to conform with the discussion, basically.
Okay, so we'll amend it to the discussed items. And we'll go back to the recording so we get you those discussed items.
But is it going to be amended to give us a list on the scope?
Yes, that's,
Okay.
And-
And then all the names will match.
And it will be listed in the contract.
so we'll get that written out for you once we go through the recording.
thank you.
And-
so you
We will
making a
get this
motion or
first,
someone
yes.
else making it?
We're gonna get to the
Sorry,
motion
Chief.
next.
Oh, it's okay.
I didn't write it.
Okay,
Just trying to get it done before all these houses start rolling.
Is FCS Bowman okay with us modifying their contract before they see it again?
we won't edit, we will send it back to them and ask for a request to be made and have them resend it to us.
Let's
Okay.
redline it.
Very good.
So we have a motion and a second. No, do we have a motion?
We don't have a motion.
We have
Make
Steve
that-
who made a motion.
So
We
he's
have a
doing the second.
I'll second.
Eric is doing
Eric is
the
a second.
Got it.
Discussion, we are making the changes as listed. We'll go through the recording for those items. Name on resolution and all the others. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Thanks,
Steve
Chief.
Whitehead,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
Yes.
and Bryant Sands.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor.
Sir.
I forgot to mention this earlier. I want to thank everyone for being here for the street plan. I wanted to make a note to other council members. This is why we read things 3 times, so that the community has an opportunity to hear about it and join in the discussion with us. If we do it all in one night, they don't have the ability to say anything before a decision is made. So, just want to make that note.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is a new business. It's an ordinance to rezone certain real property located at Benton County parcel number 12-02426-000 from urban thoroughfare commercial C2 to intermediate neighborhood R2 in the city of Lowell, Arkansas. You'd entertain a motion to, I'm sorry?
It's first reading.
For new business?
Well, unless someone want to make a motion to put it on. So you would entertain a motion if someone wants to put it on third reading, they could. Otherwise, it would be first reading.
Okay,
What are we doing now?
we're doing the first ordinance.
Yes, I see that. We're voting on this only. Okay.
Is this the, oh no, this is the rezone, so this is the appeal. So, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion.
So if I understand everything correctly, basically what this is going to do is put all the commercial on the highway frontage and not run it down Bellevue. Is that?
That's correct.
Okay. We're actually shortening the commercial sector that's would be impacting more of the residential section that's down the way.
It's creating a 20-acre commercial plot on the front and the south half of this property, which is more than would otherwise exist if it was 200 feet on frontage.
How many feet long is that property?
It's a quarter, so it's roughly 1320 by 1320, so half of it's 660 by 1320.
Okay, and you're only talking about 200 foot is commercial, 200 foot deep.
Is what the code would require if they developed it as multifamily, that's correct.
So overall, it's not, as far as loss of commercial property, it's not a big loss.
Well, I didn't do the math, but I suspect it might be a gain. It's 20 acres of commercial property. 660 by 1320 as opposed to 200 feet deep.
Mr. Kicklack, is the document that was provided, the bill of attestation, or however you say it, is that a legally binding document?
It is.
Bill of assurance, yeah.
Commonly used in planning. We don't tend to do it very much in Lowell, but it's commonly used in other jurisdictions.
Okay, thank you.
I've got a question. The ordinance we're looking at before us tonight is for an R2 zoning. The Planning Commission reviewed this and unanimously denied an R3.
That's correct. And the amendment asks to upzone that to R2, which as long as we're seeking a less intense use, which is what this would be, then an amendment on the fly is permissible.
Okay, that was my question.
So this is more or less businesses than previously were?
Would you rephrase that question?
So the, when it was presented to change it to apartments, it was originally set to have businesses down Bellevue and across Monroe. Then when it was presented, the planning commission said no. There was several people from Weatherton that came in and did not want additional apartments. They wanted the businesses instead. And then what we're saying now, based on this image, is that there would be more space for retail or less space for retail than previously was if this was passed.
If I understand your question correctly, a couple points. Number one, I don't think there were any commercial components on the north side. So there weren't going to be any retail or commercial components on the north side, which is the property we're asking you to rezone tonight, the north half. But the entire south half will be dedicated to commercial uses.
Yes.
So that's going to create more space for commercial uses and help the city realize return on investment through sales tax and so forth on that entire 20-acre tract to the south. It's the south half. Part of the problem is that there's a big, you can see the line there on the bottom of the map. Through the treat area, there's a big drainage basin.
Yep.
It'd be extremely difficult or expensive to try to cohesively develop the entire 40 acres. So it makes more sense to split it up like this. And having the residential component that my client intends to develop on the north 20 acres is good traditional planning practice by creating buffering between the commercial uses on the south side and the residential uses to the north and somewhat to the west.
And I don't know if many of the council, you probably know, there's drainage issues over there on that side.
It's a floodplain.
Which they're gonna have to deal with on their side, which I think will actually really help out the entire subdivision.
So the want from the subdivision was, obviously everyone wants a walkable city, right? Like we know in this room, Lowell is not walkable, except for certain parts of it, which is great. And the mayor's done a great job of implementing sidewalks and new street plans. We've gotten more sidewalks, which has been amazing and stellar. Obviously on that side of the interstate, we don't have sidewalks, right? And that we go back to like the Taco Bell, right? And like the mismatched sidewalk, which is terrible. But the residents of that area want to have like registers for them is great because it's like walkable things to be able to go eat, play, see, whatever, right? So their concern last time when this originally went to the Planning Commission was declined was that their fear was that it was going to be transitioned to just apartments, right? And they were like, we don't want apartments behind us, especially with all the people that live right there. So their request and coming into the prior, yes, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say their request from like when they originally, it was in the last Planning Commission meeting, was they're like, we would rather not have the apartments, we'd rather have businesses within the area. So I think the point to drive home with this is they would rather see more things there to eat, see, do, whatever, versus more housing units of apartments or however that is. So I would love just the clarity of it, like what was the original proposed of, like, what are we compromising to and from for the, like, amount of livable units or whatever.
So what's permitted there right now by right under the current zone? You can have a mixed use. You can have apartments
Yep.
to the rear. You can have 200 foot of commercial space to the frontage on both lots.
Yep.
So what the development is wanting to compromise is the entire north lot of the retention pond to be residential, and by right, the entire south lot, which could be a good portion of apartments with 200 foot of commercial frontage, they're willing to compromise and dedicate all of that as your commercial frontage. So you're not losing any commercial space. They're just basically moving it around.
Swapping.
Yeah, they're swapping. They're putting the residential to the north and guaranteeing all of the south as commercial.
Do we have on hand, like, the estimated amount of people that would have been in the R3 versus R2? Like, livable,
In the what?
like, of total, like, apartment units or anything like that?
It's a very similar plan to what was presented before.
Mr. Sands, I know you've done this for a while, but when you consider rezoning, you're supposed to look at all the available uses that are possible under a
Absolutely.
particular zone. I couldn't tell you what this development's gonna look like exactly tonight, because that was what was presented with the R3 request. We've changed it, and now it's gonna be R2, so there's gonna be some redesign. Anything I would tell you, number one, is not supposed to be relevant under a rezoning request, and number two, has a good chance of being wrong.
Sure.
So, I think we'll just leave it at that.
So we're saying the south side is gonna be commercial, north side will be residential, versus how originally it was, the south side would have been mixed use, which would have been residential and
Or they
commercial.
both could be mixed use.
Okay.
Right now, they're both zoned C2, and in the C2 zone, we permit mixed use. So both lots, as it stands today, without any rezoning, can build a mixture of apartments and commercial,
And we're saying north side's gonna be just residential.
just residential.
Awesome, thank you.
And residential does build walkability as well.
Yep.
And I will remind you guys, we did have a master street plan in the past that did have connections from Weatherton and
Yep.
Tuscan Heights that would connect walkability, and we were asked to remove those.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's something we've got to give and take and work through these developments to create it.
Absolutely, thank you.
I would add that if you want to create walkability, that creating customers right next to a commercial development is the best way to do that.
Absolutely.
So y'all have ordinance in front of you. Someone can move to do it tonight in one night, the rezone. Otherwise, it would go on, right now, since there's no motion, it would go on first reading. And you wouldn't need to vote.
If you could consider placing this on its third and final reading tonight, it would be very helpful.
I actually don't see a problem with that, and if you guys don't.
I agree. I'll second it.
So we have a motion and second.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'd make the motion that this be on the third reading.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Roll call on making this, well, there's two procedurals. Well, we've passed the first one, so it'll be the second. What's your second procedural?
We're not going to follow through with this one.
We'll follow through on the second one here in a second.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is the,
This
okay.
is just a vote on the procedural motion.
For this item only.
Yes.
Okay. Who made the motion?
I did.
Eric. In a second,
And to Gifford.
Gifford. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ready for a roll call? Eric Schein,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Lisa De Gifford,
Yes.
Bryant Sands.
Abstain.
Was that an abstain, sir? Thank you. Brian Mooney,
Yes.
motion passes.
entertain a motion to pass.
I'll entertain a motion on either, well, I'll entertain a motion on the actual ordinance itself. We have that, Eric
And Roy.
So any further discussion on the actual ordinance? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Lisa De Gifford,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Abstain.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
Yes.
and Eric Shine.
Yes.
Motion to approve. This ordinance is approved. Do you want me to read the ordinance one time? Okay. Ordinance to rezone certain real property located at Benton County, parcel number 02426-000, from urban thoroughfare commercial C2 to intermediate neighborhood R2 in the city of Lowell, Arkansas. I will give it the ordinance number of 1161.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Kicklick, I failed to look at, see if the ordinance had an emergency
I'm
clause
looking
or
right
not.
now.
Did it have an emergency clause?
No.
No, it
does not.
Does not?
No.
So it'll be effective in 30 days. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, next on the agenda is another ordinance, an ordinance to rezone certain real property at Benton County parcel number 12, 0240400 for intermediate neighborhood R2 to urban thoroughfare commercial C2 in the city of Lowell, Arkansas.
Excuse me.
And you receive them.
Hi, I'm sorry.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
This is the first reading, so it would be a motion
And,
to,
Adrian,
on the
Roy?
procedural,
Okay.
go to third reading.
You need on the third reading or
This would-
on the ordinance itself?
No, we'd have to, this is to move this to its third reading versus a first reading.
So moved.
Third reading. Number 2.
Second, okay, discussion.
So Steve.
Hi,
Roy,
my name's
did you make the
Ravon John.
second?
I work with the Studar Group, and I'm representing my client to have this rezoned from an R2 to a C2. This is on Bloomington and School, which is a hard commercial corner. My client currently has operations about 300 yards south of the subject property. He intends to make this a mercantile type commercial building for him to have his operations, and then potentially have additional units available for rent for other commercial businesses that would want to come into the area, which would help to increase tax revenue for the city.
Can you expound on, you said his operations, what is his operations?
Yes, he owns a commercial cleaning business.
Commercial what?
A commercial cleaning business, but his actual office operations would be from this building. It wouldn't have any sort of commercial cleaning supplies or anything that would be hazardous.
Make sure I'm looking at the correct one. I just saw something about marble.
That's the current owner of the property, sir.
This is the one on School Street, or is this the one towards Park Central?
This one's on School.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Karen? Some of the residents from Park Central at the Planning Commission meeting talked about being able to get from the neighborhood over to school. Instead of putting sidewalks on 71, is there the ability to put a trail or something behind these two properties?
We go by the master street plan. The current master street plan, the 2024 plan, shows a trail along 71.
So since we are pushing that back to planning, we have the ability to change that if we,
You do have the ability to.
I would feel a whole lot safer if kids not walking on 71. Okay, thank you.
Are you saying like behind the business?
I'm sorry.
Like behind the businesses?
Yeah. Seems like it'd be safer. Did we ever vote on the third reading?
No, we're just on the discussion.
Okay.
Any further discussion on that? You have a timeline on closing or any sense of urgency on that?
Yes, sir. We plan to close on July 15th.
Okay.
Have we had any concerns?
Karen, is there any comments on this?
There were a few concerns from neighbors that live within the neighborhood of commercial businesses backing up to their yards, but the planning commission did recommend closing. And there were concerns with walkability, as Steve mentioned. They requested that if we allow the businesses to come in and create walkability so the children get from the neighborhood and struggle to the school.
Was there a lot of people that came forward that were not happy about it?
Two.
I don't remember, to the best of my recollection, nobody was unhappy about it. They just voiced a couple of concerns.
I think regardless of what happens, our priority is always safety of the residents, and that includes our children. And so we have to always prioritize that. My clients are trying to be on a major business thoroughfare and provide additional space for the commercial community. And so that's ultimately why we're here today.
Any further discussion? Okay. Seeing no further discussion, this roll call on the vote to take this from a first reading to a third.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
Yes.
Bryant Sands.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Now to the ordinance itself. Entertain a motion on the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Are we still on number 2, sir, or are we
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
number 3?
Number 2.
Number 2,
You
we
said
have
there
Steve and
were
Roy on there.
2 people, I guess, who
Yes, ma'am.
spoke out. Okay. Thank you.
So can you expound on, I mean, obviously he's talking about, is it more office type of building he's planning on putting there, not actual retail or anything like that, or what's it?
For his personal services, it would be an office type space, but he wanted to provide other opportunities for other businesses to come in with additional lease space available.
With the intent of more office style space.
It would be a mercantile type space, so it could be office
Okay.
or retail.
And just remember, it would be anything in that category.
You know, that's my
Allow
concern. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it gives me pause there. Like I said, it can be anything in there as a proximity to a school. That's what's giving me pause for
Right.
this. And having clarity of what exactly is that, because I mean.
Right, and I think there are state ordinances regarding that as far as keeping, drugs, alcohol, things like that away from the school premises. And so with that, I believe it would still fall within the mercantile style of commercial building and the tenants that would be there that would not offend or hopefully not
Well,
offend anybody, you know.
And that's the hopefully that gives me pause.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
So C2 would be retail, dining, auto repair, equipment rental, professional offices, hotel, motel.
Roy, to expound on what you were saying, that, you know, you couldn't have a sexually oriented business, you couldn't sell, you know, alcohol, probably tobacco products within 1,000 feet or probably, or more of the school.
And I would say in addition to that, if there's a specific business that you wanted to put a restriction on, my client would probably be okay with that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on the ordinance?
I like the idea of more businesses out there. I worry about foot traffic with it being so close to the school, because the school is, I mean, I pass it every day. It's just a gate.
I think in that lane, you know, we do have the business corridor that's there, and that would be the main avenue to access, because there is a hard corner, so you have 2 access points for the property. In addition to that, I think it could also serve to the school and the families that go to the school to have possible services there that would benefit their family life.
I know they're basically saying this is school, but honestly, it's right on 71. And I know that my wife likes being in the center of the main street, but I would be the person that would not want to have a house right there. I honestly think that as long as this would go, when it would go to large scale, that's where we could put some regulation to, we don't have certain things that we could put on there at that point, that's allowable, but we could put some parameters.
We don't have a development district there. So whether it's even legal to restrict businesses that are allowed by right,
Okay.
that's something that Tom would have to address.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no development district there. But you are correct there, it is on the highway.
But we.
Any type of housing that would go there would be more high density.
But we know there's not going to be adult novelty shops or alcohol or tobacco that could be, especially that close to a middle, an elementary school.
Elementary, yeah.
I mean, we already know those things are out.
Yeah.
And there is a commercial business just on the south side of the building.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
No.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
Yes.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
Motion passes. Let me give you an ordinance number, 1162.
Thank you so much.
Read, Liz, you want to read the title?
You want me to read it? Excuse me.
And I have to as well.
Ordinance to rezone certain real property located at Benton County parcel number 1202404000 from intermediate neighborhood R2 to urban thoroughfare commercial C2 in the city of Lowell, Arkansas.
And this time on the agenda is an ordinance to rezone certain real property located at Benton County parcel 12629000 for an intermediate neighborhood R2 to neighborhood commercial C1 in the city of Lowell, Arkansas. Again, you receive a motion to place on third and final reading if council chooses.
So move
Second.
for the third reading.
Discussion?
Good evening. I'm here, my name is Hannah Sicioni, to represent my clients in the request of this rezone.
In talking with city staff and with my client, we chose to go with the C1 recommendation. That is the lowest intensity. It is a neighborhood commercial usage. We also view now that with the approval of the C2 immediately to the south of it, as well as C2 in the adjoining areas, this is a nice buffer that does transition into the Park Central POA neighborhood. With this site in particular, one thing that's unique about it is we are buffered adjacent with the retention pond. It does also front 71 Business, and it's a hard corner that's the developer itself, which is also the neighboring property owner to the north, is in support of this low intensity usage. In the spirit of transparency, it's not a requirement for a rezone. However, my client has been more than transparent. This is for a medical dental office, which falls directly in line with the language of your zoning. For the record also, we are on a tight contract schedule set to close June 20th, or July 20th, excuse me.
Did you say a medical dental facility?
Yes, sir, it's a dental office.
As long as it's not a used car lot, I'm happy.
For the record, my client would build in accordance with the zoning, whatever that prohibits.
I appreciate it.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call on the
Third reading.
third reading proposal.
Eric Schein,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
and Brian Mooney.
Yes.
Motion passes. Now we're going to
Back to the ordinance. I entertain a motion on the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the ordinance?
Random thought. So you said this is just gonna be a dentist, like that's at the dentist's office?
My client is a dentist. It's a locally owned business. That is their main intended use with the space.
I don't know if you can answer this, like how much, I'm figuring it's gonna go in like towards the roadside. How much of that property is gonna be?
My client does intend to maximize the property in accordance with their building plans and needs. Obviously, this is step one. It's very expensive to engage engineers. I will say there is a 12-inch water line on the east side of the property. So one thing that I mentioned in planning, in the planning commission vote, that the building is not going to be able to be built immediately up to the frontage of Bloomington or 71 Business due to that water line. So it will be set back. We feel that with the previous engineers that we've started to begin to have those conversations with, it will not create any line of sight issues as entering into 71 Business from a traffic flow there. We will also, because that is RDOT frontage, be creating the egress-ingress off of 5th Avenue there with a single curb cut is all that's intended. Obviously, these things would come into play when it comes to large scale working with that. My client is also in support of creating safe cross connectivity from any pedestrian usages. I will like to clarify to the previous applicant and question before us. There was no opposition from the public. There was just 2 points of clarification speaking in regards to asking about having some type of connectivity. We leave that up to you guys. But also, we did ask to speak to the POA president. I never got that phone call. I have spoken to one applicant when I left my number for any kind of communication from any neighboring residents that might have questions. One phone call, it resulted in a positive conversation, so we personally have not had any opposition to the rezone specifically.
Question you mentioned about entrance as far as driveway and so forth. Would you say off of 71 or off the road?
No, sir, off of 5th Avenue.
5th Avenue.
Perfect, thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Eric Schein,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to approve this ordinance and on placing it on third final is approved. I will read the ordinance one time by title only. Ordinance to rezone certain real property located at Benton County parcel number 12, R-3629-000 from Intermediate Neighborhood R-2 to Neighborhood Commercial C1 in the city of Lowell, Arkansas. Ordinance number 1163.
May I ask clarification, is there an emergency clause attached? So 30 days? Okay, all right. And then it will be solidified, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, next on the agenda is a resolution to appropriate funds for a contract with Children and Family Advocacy Center of Benton County. We receive a motion.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Finance, you want to
We-
step up to the mic?
Mr. Mayor, we made the ordinance last month, but we didn't attach money to it. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
There was just no GL code.
Yeah.
On the resolution. I can't spend the money without a GL code from you guys approving it. But the money was approved last month.
The line item that's listed on here.
Right, the GL where it says,
Yeah.
the 101-172-955, that wasn't on there last month. That's the only piece that was missing.
Is there a
But I
current
need that
balance
piece
in
or-
that? Is there a current balance in that right now? Or that's what you're wanting us to
This
appropriate?
is what I
into
want to
that?
put the
Perfect.
$20,000 in. I've moved no money, I've done nothing without
Yeah,
this
yeah.
approval.
So, where was it? And just to make sure this doesn't put any more money.
Yep. Not sure what.
This doesn't appropriate any more money than we already
Just
did.
the $20,000.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's the max that we can do, correct?
That I don't know.
I think it,
No. We can give, they'll take as much money as we'll give them, but that's what we
But
signed the
that's what you
contract for.
well, I was saying, in last month, I remember seeing, it said max 20,000.
That's what we agreed
I
to in
think
in
that's
that
our,
contract.
our max.
Because
Our
that's
max.
what's, yeah, right, that's because that's what you agreed to, right? I can't do it more than 20,000. It's basically housekeeping.
You have a motion on this one?
I didn't bring it with me.
I'm just going to do this.
Lisa, you wanna-
Roy?
Any further discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, roll call.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Brian Moody,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to approve this resolution is approved. Resolution is assigned number 26-27.
Mayor, next item on the agenda is a resolution to approve and authorize the mayor to execute amendment number 2 to work order number 2 with McClellan Consulting Engineers for the Concord Street Road Improvements Project, the city of Lowell, Arkansas. Receive a motion.
So move.
Second?
And what does this do?
So amendment number 2 to work order number 2 for Concord Street is there's 3 main components. The first component was we split the project into 2 phases instead of 1 phase. Phase 1 has been constructed. We're gonna have to update the plans for the phase 2 part to remove the portions of phase 1. And the second component, we coordinated with Springdale Water Utilities to look at some utility relocations on the south portion of the project, and we're able to leave the sewer line in place, so that is going to cover the cost of just relocating the water on the west side of the road. And the last portion is for the property acquisitions component.
So this makes it almost double what the original agreement was.
It adds $220,450 to the original agreement, so it's approximately 50% extra, and the primary component of that is the acquisition part. construction materials testing that we added to cover the entire, the School Avenue portion of the project. And breaking it out into multiple phases for that. So part of this, the reason for doing the property acquisitions the way we are proposing to do it, we previously had funding through regional planning for the project. We moved those funds over to Honeysuckle Street. So we have been applying to try to seek federal funding for Concord again. It got it previously. So our hope is that we have applied with regional planning. We did not get funding through regional planning, but we applied through RDOT for their TAP-in recreational trail program grant that was due in May. And we need to follow the Uniform Act. So that's the reason for the cost is if we want to use federal funds on the project and we're hoping that we will get them again, we need to follow the same process.
So this dollar amount's not inclusive of any funds that we would get from a grant?
No, it's just strictly for an acquisition agent and the appraisal company. The estimated cost for the acquisitions to buy the easements and the right-of-way is approximately $250,000. And with the grant, we would get 80% of that reimbursed.
And who we buying it from?
Like the easement?
Yeah.
We have acquisitions of 27 properties anticipated.
And we've already talked to all 27.
We have not.
Okay. So we can't talk to all 27 until this passes.
Not because of possibility of federal funds. We'll get in trouble.
Got it. So if we do pass this, then we do get the federal funds, then we get reimbursed X amount.
We go through the process.
We can't get reimbursed though if we don't follow the process.
Right. What is the probability of people saying, I don't want to do an easement on my land?
There's at least one.
Right.
Hiring Cassie for this.
Cassie Elliott will be doing the negotiation services.
Hiring the best acquisition person in the region.
Is it like a ton of, is the easement like big or small?
A lot of little ones.
$250,000 worth of.
I mean, like of their land that they're giving up the easement on.
We have to buy some right away from property owners north of the Shepherd Hill subdivision. We don't need a lot of right away on the south portion. It's kind of divided by that section along Shepherd Hills. We do need easements, permanent construction easements for the south portion and the north portion.
Remind me again what we do if they say no.
After the negotiations are completely complete and we're ready to start the project, we would acquire the property through eminent domain.
So if they say no and we're just going to take it?
That's what, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Does a eminent domain decision come back before council?
It certainly can. Certainly can if you guys.
Does it usually, or what's the usual process for that?
Typically, if it's within, if you operate within budget, then you acquire the property one way or the other.
Right, but if we have to eminent domain something, or if someone says no, and that's the only recourse, how is it usually done by Lowell? Is it done administratively, or does it come back before us, before they begin that process, or?
Unless we, it could come back before you, if the budget needs to go up to do that. But if it's within budget, then no.
Okay.
But if you can say, you'd like to do that, bring them all back here if you want to. It's when you're at that stage, and let's say you've got all the property, you've purchased 26 properties, and there's one left. And the city council said, no, we don't want to, you'd end up owning 26 properties that you couldn't do anything with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you are going to go through an eminent domain, you will want to get the property appraised, so they're being given fair market value for their property.
Of course.
Are any of those properties in that, I guess we're talking about the rectangle there, are any of those full properties, or is all that just right away and easement?
We're not buying any full properties.
Okay.
It's narrow sections
Sure.
along the frontage of Concord.
I move that we add that stipulation in that if it gets to that point of eminent domain, we have a decision before that begins.
We can do that.
Any seconds?
I'll second that.
Yeah, your triangle, or your.
It's very big.
Rectangle up there looks like, it goes through quite a few properties, so.
Yes,
27 properties is
Well,
what?
no, the way it cuts over, it literally takes up my entire house. That's why I think he asked. I know you're just going along the street, so. Yeah.
Right.
Not to scale.
Yeah, there are gaps, and we don't need property from everybody, or even easement from everybody along that section.
Yeah, I will remind everyone that both this project and Honeysuckle, and this is very similar to the Honeysuckle project, was prompted by the citizens.
This is for the sidewalks, right?
This is just sidewalks now.
Yep.
So how are the sidewalks that are on Concord right now that are being built?
On the north part, there are different portions of Concord
Okay.
being constructed in different phases.
So this is from School Avenue at the north to Robinson
Okay.
at the south.
Gotcha.
Along the school, there'll be a trail, a 12-foot trail on the school frontage that eventually on the current master street plan, it wraps around the backside of the school, and then the sidewalk will continue all the way to Robinson, so you'll have sidewalks on both sides of the road.
Yeah, and the original issue that we had is we have children that ride along the street right now, getting to the school that's to the north, and we're trying to get them off.
Nowhere to go but the ditch.
The sidewalks are
Nowhere to go
5-foot
but the
sidewalks,
ditch.
and it's got 6-foot green space around the curb.
And for this, we're moving water pipes and everything? Okay.
Mr. Kicklight?
No sewer line relocations. We met with Springdale Water, and they were, okay, even though it's very close to the road, we're not moving that, so there's a cost savings there for the city.
Mr. Kicklight? This is not giving money to the individuals, but it, as Mr. Gifford said, it does directly impact her property. Would that be a conflict?
Not at this time. If we, certainly she wouldn't want to vote on an eminent domain
Right.
situation.
I understand.
Is your
I
property,
plan to abstain, so on the record, I plan to abstain because it doesn't directly affect me.
So I guess we have a motion and a second for.
Yes, we do.
For the.
With the
eminent
change.
domain.
For the resolution, but we didn't add,
We have not. We have to do,
are we going to add this into a
Yes.
separate?
And then
Okay.
who made the motion that was me?
no,
The original.
Councilmember Flores has an amendment that he'd like to add to that as well. You want to go ahead and speak on that again, sir?
Yes, that if it's required that eminent domain proceedings begin, before those begin, that it comes back before council for that decision.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
That I already did.
Oh,
Okay. Any discussion on that? If not, we'll go ahead and vote.
You're adding into number 5, this special,
Special clause, that if
Okay,
it
that's
goes
what we're-
evicted, then it'll come back to council.
and that's what we're voting on, thank you.
Yes.
So we're voting on amendment?
The amendment to,
Mhm. Ready for roll call?
yes, ma'am?
Adrian Flores
Yes.
and Emily Reach
Yes.
and Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Lisa DeGifford,
Abstain.
abstain. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Brian Mooney,
Yes.
and Bryant Sands.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, back to the resolution. Any just further discussion on the resolution itself?
I have a question. Aside from Mr. Gifford, is any property affected here owned by anyone on this table? No? Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion on the resolution?
It's a good question.
Seeing none, roll call.
Lisa DeGifford,
Abstain.
Emily Reach,
I am so sorry. I was listening to what was just said. I did not hear what we were, I'm so sorry. What did we?
Passing this.
resolution.
Yes, so yes.
Number 5.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So you're yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Scott, no, excuse me, Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands.
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
and Brian Mooney.
Yes.
Motion to approve, this resolution is approved. It's resolution number 26-28.
I guess this is a resolution to approve and authorize, the mayor to approve and authorize, let's see, work order, no, this is 6, right?
Nope, we're on 7. No, we're on 6.
6,
We're
yeah.
on 6.
Authorize the mayor to execute amendment number 1 to work order number 9 with McClellan Consulting Engineers for the Honeysuckle Street sidewalk extension from McClure Avenue to Rogers Avenue in the city of Lowell, Arkansas. Here we are again. You received a motion to pass.
Do we have a motion?
I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Thank you.
Discussion?
And
Just for the record,
is just Dale Circle down to McClure-ish? Okay.
I do have one question, because the gentleman before said that the funds that we had before that we had appropriated for Concord got moved to Honeysuckle. So what portion of Honeysuckle did those get moved to? Because we have 2 of them here that we're going to talk about tonight.
So those funds in particular were federally authorized funds requested through regional planning, if I'm not mistaken. And it was requested for both to be split between Concord and Honeysuckle, the way it was written. And I believe there was an amendment or amendment resolution between then and now that all of that 500 be allocated just to Honeysuckle, because we had, considerable forward motion on Honeysuckle and to allocate funds with the intent of, again, applying again for Concord alone to have federal funds allocated to Concord by itself. So the 500,000 that was originally requested and awarded was no longer split, was shifted to just the one. We're just playing with money, pots of money, and shuffling it around. So now we're working on separately funding for Concord, funding for Honeysuckle, and then also these work orders and amendments are for the design and right-of-way acquisition consultant efforts in order to execute those projects.
Mark, the 500,000 is the construction end.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
The 500,000 that was designated earmarked specifically for construction costs only.
Okay.
Yeah, when we applied for the grant, sorry, good evening, Mayor and Council. When we applied for the grant, at that time it was only for construction.
Okay.
Both RO and regional planning have changed some of their limitations now, where you can apply for grant funds for right-of-way acquisitions, utility locations, So we weren't doing that, they weren't doing that at this, when we initially applied for the grant, so it was just for construction. But now we're trying to make the city's funds go as far as possible, the 80-20 match, so we're extending it to utilities where possible, and certainly with right-of-way acquisitions, so that's why there appears to be more steps being added.
Yeah,
If
it
we'd
just,
done all this at the front end, it would all have been addressed in one.
yeah, it just seems like we've been appropriating funds for honeysuckle for quite some time now, and I'm like,
Forever.
forever, yeah.
The end is in sight.
I think Kevin's trying to figure out a way to put a roundabout on the
Oh.
sidewalks.
I mean, if it's requested, we could stick one at Evergreen.
No.
No?
No
Okay.
more
I
roundabout.
jest.
You're very used to them.
Hmm?
Every city is doing them.
I know.
So just for the public, because they're not privy to the documents that we have here, could you give us a concise breakdown of what this amendment does?
So this amendment, we have executed Work Order 9, which authorizes consultant efforts to appraise and acquire easements and right-of-way for all the properties that are along the frontage of Honeysuckle, where the footprint of our project is. No whole properties, nothing of that sort, just a few feet here and there, just where right-of-way and construction and just structure of what's being built needs a little bit more space.
Yeah, honeysuckle's very narrow.
That's the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
the
this-
acquisition fee is only 5,850.
Say that again?
The acquisition, the right-of-way, the actual amount of the right-of-way of the land is 5,850, and then the rest of it is preparation of documents and then project coordination. The project coordination is $28,000. The document preparation is $450. So the actual right-of-way easement is only $5,850. Is that correct?
I think that's just consulting services, isn't it?
Yes, that's $5,850 to cover the expenses and cost for these services that we have sub-consulted through Visionary Milestones to go and meet with the residents, discuss with them, let them know that we're coming, and coordinate the numbers that we find out, coordinate appraisals as needed, which have been done, where it's required. When you have a small enough sliver, you might not need it. And so that's for Visionary Milestone Services to pursue that negotiation, have those conversations, and support coordination with the city and the residents to keep things moving forward. So that's paying for the process of right-of-way acquisition, the consultant effort.
And so this is not inclusive of any of the acquisition. That's a separate amount.
Correct. The right-of-way property acquisition, that is covered in Work Order 1 and development and execution of the project.
And so we did that one first, then this is the leftover amount that we need to cover.
I'm sorry?
We did that first, and then this is the amount that we need to cover that's left over.
I'll speak to this one.
Thank you.
So we had a design that had storm drainage discharging to the west, and there's a property owner there who has some very elegant pecan trees. And the reason we bought the property was for those pecan trees, and we had our storm sewer going right through those. So we heard what his resistance was, and we have redesigned the storm sewer so it goes across the fence and goes down what is currently a utility easement. But we have to make that a storm drain easement. You can't put storm water appurtenances in a utility easement. You have to apply storm. So we've had to go and acquire those storm water easement from two property owners that weren't in the original scope. And there's I know this is sounding complicated, it's just the way the project's evolved. So we've actually got 3 parcels that were added to the scope of the project, which is why there's the 5,850, that's just the 3 parcels.
Got it.
The 28,000 is for the whole project.
Got it.
Because now we're going for federal money, we've got to go through the whole process of appraisals, fair market value, to follow the uniform act. So that's why there appears to be an imbalance between the 5,850 and the 28. There's only 3 copies in that 5,8.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, this disparity is very large.
Yeah, and that's why.
Yeah, okay, cool.
We are trying to work with property owners and not go through condemnation in as much as possible and hear what people are saying, but there's a limit to some of the things that we can do with the design to avoid. But in this case we have, and so we're going to require 2 more utility easements.
Is there a possibility that y'all will come back to us for more money for this project?
No.
So this is the last promise?
Absolutely.
Amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I mean, the only thing is, as far as,
Nope, you can't take it back. Can't take it back. Awesome, thank you.
So are there any more properties to be acquired?
I believe yes, we have some properties still outstanding, currently in negotiation. I believe we are up to 15 out of 20 properties that have been signed and executed easements. A couple are in city's court, so we can have it formally filed and then issue the resultant payment per the agreement.
Okay. Has anyone declined, or have they all taken the agreement?
There's been some negotiation with a few specific residents that there's been some adjustment or request for varied amounts, which we've coordinated with the city to accommodate appropriately.
Okay, but no eminent domain or anything like that?
There will be one.
Okay.
There will be one property that is outright not negotiated, has not coordinated, outright refused.
And so
one of 20.
Okay.
Where on this map is that? Do you know? I know it's hard with that laser pointer, I'm sorry. You could say closer to the blue line, closer to the green line. I'll take that.
You see the street that looks like a stable off to the east side of Honeysuckle?
Yes.
That U shape, that's Evergreen Circle. The north leg of it, where that intersects at Honeysuckle, the northeast corner of that intersection, that is the property in question.
Is it a lot of their property or a small sliver of their property?
Slivers. We're talking, I want to say off, I don't have the exhibit in front of me, but having looked at it recently, it's a sliver of right-of-way for the sake of grading and necessary offset per our master street plan for what was established from last year.
Yep.
And some amount of easement in order to match the grade cleanly and smoothly into their yard so they don't have a drop off at the edge of their yard, and so we can have appropriate grading and get out of their hair.
It is, then that's because they just were not wanting to deal with the city or any of the engineers.
The correspondence that I have reflects they have zero interest in having this project in their yard anywhere near them whatsoever. They want nothing to do with it. They do not want a trail. They do not want it at all.
Are we going to impact their driveway during the construction?
No, their address is Evergreen. Their property access is Evergreen, not Honeysuckle.
Got it.
What's funny is my first or second council meeting here, we actually made the decision to, the initial decision to put in that sidewalk. And prior to that, I had found out and sent letters to everyone who would be affected by that, letting them know, hey, this is happening, you know, request your input if you want to give it. And I believe it was that very person who told me, you know, no, same thing, I don't really want this. So on principle alone, I'd like to do the same amendment to this as we did before, and say if there's any.
You don't need to. I just got the word out to everybody in my office. We won't do any more in Lowell without making sure that the city council gets a resolution on it first.
Okay.
So I'm going to apply that to all projects.
Excellent, thank you.
I thought that's.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Tom.
Because I was about ready to do this every single time.
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for all the insightful information. I appreciate it.
That's what we're here for.
It's very, very well rounded. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Lisa De Gifford,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Adrian Flores.
With the stipulation that any, what's the word I'm looking for? Eminent domain comes back to us, yes.
Bryant Sands.
Yes.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
Steve Whitehead.
Yes.
Brian Mooney.
Yes.
And Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to approve the resolution is approved. Resolution is assigned number 26-29.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Can I request 5 minutes? Please.
Everyone, 5 minutes? Good? Entertain a motion to adjourn for a 5-minute break. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're adjourned for 5 minutes. No, they cannot.
You don't get to drink any more drinks anymore. Well,
Well, you look at me like that.
cut this meeting off.
Liz, you're such a hoot. Me? Me personally?
Yes, you are.
I appreciate everything you do for this city. The city would fall without you. Dude, that was the first, I could not keep up with where we're at. I was like, I'm so sorry. I need to know what we're voting on. I was very confused too.
You did fine.
Appreciate it.
I'm good, thank you.
You know, the way you're doing this process tonight, you have
Do what?
doubled my paperwork.
Doubled your paperwork? Hey, guess what? I'm getting ready to make it crazy.
You're removed.
Oh.
I'm gonna make a motion, we remove you. I'm getting the hang of what you're doing, but I don't like it.
Oh. You know, the chances that the master street plan would have gone through without citizens being aware of what was going on was very good. And we didn't get a copy of the plan until after the meeting.
Yeah.
So it was just like one of those days, like they're trying to shove shit through so fast. So this is the only way we have control over it.
Well, you're doing more business than I do, the details, I understand that. I really do. But you're making the meeting too long.
Just wait, there's more.
Is there more?
There's more. Hey,
Uh-oh. I think I'm gonna pass it out. You're gonna take it out. You know, I did that one day up here.
I know. Well, I think we have a defibrillator somewhere. We'll just tase you.
Stick that on me.
Yeah, they got some tasers back there. We'll just.
Do they? That
Yeah.
would work. I don't know.
Whoa.
Okay, it is 8:22. We'll go ahead and get everything back going. Yep. So we are on, what,
Everybody's back?
everyone is back.
Okay.
Too quickly.
We're on item number 7.
Right. Mayor, item number 7 is a resolution to appropriate funds to authorize the mayor to execute amendment number 2 to work order number 1 for the Honeysuckle Street Sidewalk Extension Project in the city of Lowell, Arkansas. Extension McClellan.
So move. I make a motion.
Second.
Was that Lisa?
Yeah, and Emily.
I barely heard you. Emily? Thank you.
I feel like you answered all of our questions, you know.
You too.
Just in case.
Is this one too, this last request for this one?
As far as we can help it, yes.
We heard that last time.
Sorry, yes.
In 2 months, I swear. I'll be knocking on your door. Thank you, guys.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Lisa DeGifford?
Yes.
Emily Reach?
Yes.
Adrian Flores?
Yes.
Bryant Sands?
Yes.
Eric Shine?
Yes.
Steve Whitehead?
Yes.
Brian Mooney?
Yes.
Roy Brunson? Motion to approve this resolution is approved. The resolution is assigned number 26-30.
Mayor, the next on the agenda is a resolution to authorize expenditure for salaries in the coordination fund to the Lowell District Court. I haven't seen one from the court. Jay, anything?
I was just asked to put this back in this month, from last month, and everybody got their packet from last month, so I did not repeat any more trees to cut down, put it for this month, but nothing is, I apologize.
We'll get some
The one thing
changes.
that's changed
Yeah.
is last month it did not include the taxes that were paid. So these are the taxes and fees, so this would be the total.
Jay, do you mind coming up here? I'm having a hard time hearing you. And so if I heard you correctly, this is same everything except for it added the taxes into it.
Right. The city's portion of the things that we would pay, our piece of the social security, et cetera, and Medicare for these people.
APERS,
So-
Social Security, and Medicare.
I'm sorry.
APERS, Social Security, and Medicare, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So let me understand this correctly. This is still at the same rate that was done the last time, and that they are still billing it as a 1099 style of flat rate instead of by the hour, which that they're, because
They
of
did that, we didn't put it through. It needs to go through payroll if we do it.
But,
and
but
this
my
will go through
question,
payroll.
but my question is this is done on that per box rate, not by an hourly rate that they have done.
That's my understanding, but that was never explained to us.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to what I said before. And I talked to an investigator that audits all of these. And according to Arkansas state law, and according to how these salaried employees are paid, it has to be paid at an hourly rate and not a set fee that somebody arbitrarily came up with. This has to be as they are employees and this is part of their duty.
I agree.
Yeah, okay. And I'm just making sure we're all on the same page because we can't get involved in that because this is state law and this is, I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic, EDOC or EDOC, is that correct? I'm looking at my HR wife to make sure I'm saying it correctly. This is one of those compliance issues that we're looking at. It's not something that the council has authority over.
So, if it's looking at me now,
Yes.
And the reason it's here, the authority you have is just in the statute itself with regard to this automation fund. The judge, spends the money as authorized by the local government, which would be you. So that's why it's here. As for the way the judge spent the money, I think the district court's position is that's for the court to decide. And the city council sort of like puts it in the budget. But one thing that I want to make sure of is that everyone knew that all of those fees still come out of the fund, the automation fund. Right?
Correct, the
payroll
entire total will
fees,
come out of there.
Those taxes, in other words, there's no impact to the general fund budget or any other part of the city budget. It still comes out of that fund. And, Eric, with regard to the wage and hour aspect of it, we did this the best way we could to comply with wage and hour laws, basically putting it through a...
We haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, we designed it.
Yes, we designed it.
Through the resolution, the best way we could to make sure that the city itself would be legitimate in making an expenditure through W-2 wages.
It has to be paid
As opposed to
hourly
wages.
and through payroll.
Yeah. And so as far as what the hourly rates become, Eric, that's something we haven't done because we don't know. We don't know what that is because the court decided that, the district court.
But my question on this is, if you make X amount of dollars, taxes are taken out of those X amount of dollars. Here we increased it to where they're getting, I'm just gonna do line 1. So it was $15,000, so now we've increased it, and taken taxes and everything out, so that person still gets that same amount of money, as opposed to taking the taxes from the 15.
No, they still pay their taxes out, but
Then why did it
this
jump
will
from
include-
15 to
because this is-
19?
like Emily said, this is APRS, this is Social Security, this is Medicare, the city's portion of that wasn't
city side
included
of
in
the
that.
employment tax. So employment tax is paid, partially by the employee, right, and partially by the city. If it was 1099, it'd be all by the employee.
Right.
So the city has to pay its part of the employment tax plus APRS, and that doesn't get deducted from a check, but it still gets spent. And so we want to make sure that it also comes out of the automation fund.
Right.
As you would have heard it in the past, would be roll-up. You don't pay an employee $10 an hour, you pay them $15 an hour, but they don't see the $5 of it.
Okay. Well, my concern is
And all of that
it's
comes out of the
still a
automation
violation.
fund.
It all comes out of the automation fund, yes.
Mr. Kicklack, none of this can come back on the council. We're just approving the funds, and the accounting thing comes out of somebody else's problem.
Absolutely correct. We are following that law that says shall be authorized as paid. So we're sort of like a budgeting mechanism. It's just that this wasn't in any budget.
This was never explained to us. It wasn't in the budget.
Yeah.
Yes, the judge has the authority to make a separate project, set a price for it, but that was never told to us, never shared with us.
Right.
Do you have what the current balance of the fund is right now? The reclamation fund? That's the one that has to have a minimum of 10,000 in it, right?
No, it
No?
has more than 10,000.
Oh,
A minimum?
$289,000.
okay. I thought there was one that we had to like, it's the judge that you have to make sure they have 10, I don't, never.
We put some money a while back into a fund for them, additional funds.
This is the one that comes from anytime someone gets on time pay for a ticket,
Okay.
money is taken from that time pay amount, I think $5, and put into this fund. Idea being, the state took these courts over, but really can't fund them. And so this was one of the mechanisms to be able to fund the computers and other technology that courts needed.
My concern is this is still, what is it, EEO?
EEOC.
EEOC violation.
Well,
That is my concern.
we're just funding this, and then all that liability goes back on to the financial department of who's paying it and how. We're now paying the salary plus the taxes, which was where my heartache was before, that it was done as a W-9
Gotcha.
or 1099 or.
1099. Which is what they were trying to do before, a 1099 and a W-2, and that just doesn't work.
We didn't get a motion for a second on this, did we? Didn't appear that we did.
We have a motion and a second on this resolution.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Emily? Second. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Lisa Gifford,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Ryan Mooney,
Yes.
Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution is approved. Resolution is assigned number 26-31.
Jake can say this.
I'm just gonna
The
stay
next
right
item is a resolution to amend
26-31.
2026 budget for the city of Lowell, Arkansas. And you've received a motion.
26, 31, 32.
So moved.
Second.
Jay,
Steve down
what in the world is this?
Thank you.
Apparently, the restricted funds are supposed to have a budget that's supposed to be passed at the same time as the regular budget.
30, 31, 32.
That was unbeknownst to me. So I looked up what we had done in the past. I found this from a couple of years ago. I followed the same pattern. Most of these things have already been dealt with in the budget. That's already been passed. Some are, like the last one, the TIF, for example, that was approved by resolution. This is mostly a formality and a housekeeping thing. The one thing that is there is the Fund Number 204, the Fire Act 833. The fire chief would like $4,000 to purchase rescue task force equipment for active shooter scenario. And I can go line item if you want me to. Okay, the first one, the Education Act, that money comes from permits, and we need to pay the state 95% of what we collect. That's why there's a little bit of a difference there. And the revenue, by the way, is what we anticipate to collect, not what the balance of the fund is. Act 833 I just went over, the fire impact fee, that total was already included in 2026 budget. Fire reserve, no expenditures being asked for. Administration of justice is paying for the expenses of the court. Warrant service, the total was included in the 26 budget already approved.
nothing out of 211 and 213. 215, the court automation fund, the $25,000 was I believe I got that from the court, and this is kind of what they spent last year, and so they just asked for the same amount this year. I don't have the details on here for that. 217, this was already included in the budget in 2026, that was already passed. 595, the sewer trust, per agreement, what we collect is $1,000, we pay Springdale $800 for every 1,000 we collect. No liability, escrow accounts, nothing there. Lot fee, that's obviously we pay what we collect to the state for fire and police. Retirement, franchise fee, that goes to the bond, and we will collect this year a little bit more than what we'll pay out, so that's good. TIF, that was already passed by resolution number 202617. So the big question is the $4,000 for the fire department. Everything else is pretty well either passed or by law we have to pay those things.
Could we delve a little bit more into fund number 217? That's a new fund, correct?
No, that's not a new fund. That's for the senior center. We pay half of the utilities over there.
The senior center is labeled JB Hunt Center Operations?
Senior center.
Hold on. The senior center fund is labeled JB Hunt Center Operations?
Yes.
Why?
I didn't make it. It's for the operation of the senior center. That's my guess, but that's, I didn't name it.
The family donated quite a bit to make the senior center. That's probably why.
You're missing the designation of senior after JB Hunt.
The senior center is labeled JB Hunt?
Yes, it's the JB Hunt Senior Center.
They donated to fund it.
And it has nothing to do with the recently acquired buildings?
Nothing. Zero, zilch.
Okay.
Can we modify that and add senior in there?
Pardon?
Can we add senior in there?
Sure.
For clarity.
For clarity,
I
thank
just
you.
used the names that were on the funds. I didn't change anything. But you would like to amend this so that senior is in there.
The JB Hunt Senior Center.
Yes.
No problem.
Wait, can I make a motion to
Amend
this?
Second.
Jay, one thing I'll just say, when you're bringing me a $6 million
This is,
amendment,
It's not a $6 million amendment.
well, it's,
It's a couple $1,000 amendment. You
well,
passed everything already.
if you add all those up, it's roughly about $6 million.
But you've already passed most of it, sir.
Yeah, I understand that. No, if you're gonna talk over me, it's not gonna work.
Okay.
So if you bring something like this to us, it's very confusing. If we could get a little more information in the packet when it comes out. I know you got remit to state for permits. I can't read your mind. That's a segment of a sentence. I would love to have a little more information when I'm trying to go through my 4 email packet that came out and then got amended to another 3 email packet that comes out. I'm just asking a little.
This page didn't change.
What's that?
This page didn't change, though.
I'm not saying this page changed. I'm just saying when I'm having to go through page after page after page, if we get something like this and we could have a little more clear that we could understand a little bit more of it before we get to council meeting, that would be great.
Noted.
Thank you.
restricted.
Chief, can I ask what the task force equipment is?
Yes, they're independent first aid kits for all responders.
restrictive.
Okay.
Ours are expired, and along with our new gear, the old bags that we had were kind of a satchel that hung around the front of the body. And for our guys to be able to work, it's complete new equipment, tourniquets, chest seals, all the things, and it is for the responders themselves.
Number 217.
What do you do with the expired first aid kits?
A lot of those we'll take and donate that to the community college for the paramedic program.
Love it.
And they use that stuff that way, because those chest seals are pretty expensive.
Yep.
Okay, so
Thank you,
Lisa's
sir.
better make the motion. We need a second.
I think we already made a motion.
Thank you.
To amend the JB Hunt.
Oh, yeah, we're just gonna change it.
So we don't have a second.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about it, we're just gonna change it.
I think you're good,
We're
Jay.
not gonna do this?
Okay.
Nothing more?
I don't think so.
I'll work it out, so that's fine with me.
Thanks, Jay.
Any
Okay.
further discussion on resolution number 9? Seeing none, roll call.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Ryan Mooney,
Yes.
and Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to approve this resolution is approved. Resolution is assigned number 26-32.
Mr. Mayor, I've got a couple more things I'd like to talk about this evening.
Yes, sir.
Last month, I had requested an ordinance for the city clerk position. Didn't see it on this council packet, so I took the liberty to redneck it. So I'm gonna allow y'all to look it over and
I need one. Oh, my goodness. There's another one.
I feel like I'm in school.
Anybody else need one? One more?
no more.
I guess that one's yours.
Wait, I think,
Is it multiple pages? Is it a
there you
page?
go.
I'm
I
sorry?
think you were missing a page.
Is it multiple pages or is it?
Yes, it's one front and back
Okay,
on
here,
2
you
pages.
guys,
Oh, wait.
I've got,
share with Steve.
Someone else?
Okay.
Okay.
Gucci.
Mr. Mayor.
They're giving you another one.
What is our current setup as far as the clerk goes, as compared to what you have here?
It's almost laughable. We basically have a clerk that takes the minutes, and that's about it. This is according to Arkansas state law and according to the standard practices of almost all the other cities in the state of Arkansas. This is how their city operates. I know our clerk has gone to many city clerk events and has heard all the things that they do versus what our clerk does. It's almost laughable what we have done to this position. It was done back when I originally got on city council. It was almost as a retaliatory situation that's passed down for the years, and so it's time for us to actually reinstate this right now. Mr. Mayor, who
What
is
was retaliatory?
the mayor and the city clerk weren't getting along really well, and it was pushed down as a good idea of how to keep things in check. But Mr. Mayor, who is putting together our packet right now?
Right now, I have some finance and Sarah.
So as state law says that our packet's supposed to be done either by the clerk or the deputy clerk, which we don't have a deputy clerk right now.
No, we do not.
And so,
Is there budget for this?
this would resolve, well, there was a position for it.
Eric,
for it.
what's the state law section that says?
Come on, I'd have to go back and look at it. I have it, but it's not with me right now.
What our clerk said, what our clerk ordinance is, what our clerk law is it says duties is set forth in state law. And all duties is required by state law shall be performed by the clerk. Those that can be delegated to city employees or officials may be so delegated, but not limited to financial duties, tasks. Then shall attend city council and work sessions, shall prepare minutes, shall sign documents required by law. Salary shall be set by the city council and the city budget, and shall comply with state law. And a city staff member who lives in the city of Lowell shall be appointed as deputy clerk and shall sign documents and perform other duties as required by state law to be performed when the clerk treasurer is unavailable. So that's pretty much where we are now. So in other words, we conform with state law completely right now. We say that we literally say
We don't have
all duties is required by state law.
Well, we don't have a deputy clerk that is there for. And
The deputy clerk is something that we chose to do ourselves.
But we don't have somebody that is retaining the records and available during office hours. We don't have a person that can do these duties outside of a request.
So what you're basically asking for is like a one-person contact for most things that we have.
Yeah, it becomes they become a major liaison between the council and City Hall. As we're trying to put things together, as we're trying to do things, they are a great asset to the council and to the City Hall for trying to put things together.
That would be handy.
It also gives a additional person with eyes on the finance that we've had in problems in the past. I know that they want extra eyes on things as far as our audits. Helps with that. It helps alleviate some of the city staff. I mean, we have to have a city clerk anyway, but the city clerk could then actually do some of these processes that have been delegated out to city staff. So it helps streamline.
For the finance part, are you saying give Jay a boss?
It's not really Jay. It's not really a boss. It's the position is actually the city clerk, city treasurer. We just shorten it to the city clerk.
I'm still so confused.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're adding in another position
No,
to, that's what this is,
no,
right?
this is not adding a position. This is giving a better definition to the position that is already here.
That we already have staffed?
Yes, it is the city clerk.
Right.
It's the elected position, but we control the powers of this elected position, which is basically a liaison between us and City Hall. It is a beautiful thing when it's done right, and right now it's not being done, as I would say, right. I'll use my words, not legal words, but.
It's legally, everything is right, it should be right now, as far as legally goes, yeah.
Right, legally, it's okay, but this is not how it's done in other cities. And in other cities, it operates much better than here.
So we're adding responsibility to somebody.
Adding responsibilities that we have stripped away back to the position.
From what I understand from looking at this, we are just giving back all the powers that would have already been there. We're not adding in a new position.
Correct.
We're adding in new pay or anything like that. We're just giving back from
Correct.
what this says. We are giving back all the duties that should be held in that position.
Correct. And I'm not adding a deputy clerk. I'm just saying if we have a deputy clerk, the deputy clerk has to be under the city clerk. That's law. And if we have a deputy clerk, they have to be a citizen of the city of Lowell. So I'm not adding anything. I'm not creating anything. I'm just fixing something that we messed up
Don't we have
20
HR?
years. What's that?
Like, we just got HR this year, right?
This is not an HR thing.
I feel like this would be, if we're talking about like duties and responsibilities, that definitely falls within the HR remit, doesn't it?
This is elected official, not an hourly employee. And so give you a good example, when Dr. Mooney was appointed to the position, he filed his resume through HR for a council position. Then that really should have gone through the city clerk. It should have gone through HR.
Well,
I,
not by state law, but you just
But
think
that-
that'd be more right.
that it'd be
More correct in your mind.
be more correct.
To do
Yes.
that.
Yeah, this is what would happen if you did it in Springdale or in Rogers or in Bentonville. That would have gone through the city clerk, not through HR.
So are we saying that this matches other cities, like verbatim?
Correct. This is, this
We have the other
matches,
ones to compare
this
to?
matches similarly to other cities. of what
Similarly,
the
or
position
how
is.
similar?
What's that?
How similar?
You know, once again, I am very dyslexic, and so.
Me too, I feel you.
So I'm not gonna lie to you, I AI'd this, so that the words would be spelled correctly. So,
Didn't we pass an ordinance saying that you,
no.
about
what-
AI?
What I have done is I'm not asking for this to be passed.
Okay.
I'm giving us an
Like a
idea
baseline.
of how, because I was asked for it to be done,
Okay,
and didn't come on our city council.
okay.
And so what I have done was I have taken the information and I asked the AI to spell it correctly for me. That's
Love it.
all I've done. I'm not asking to pass this. I'm asking us to take this serious.
To put it on the,
To put this,
on the agenda, I guess.
yes.
If this does, say this, if this does, I'm not saying that it shouldn't or anything like that. I'm just saying, I would love reference documents with this document of the other ones that it was compared to and all those things,
Great.
just to make sure that we're like crossing Ts and dotting Is,
yeah.
because I don't want it to make it less restrictive or more restrictive or whatever, right? Just to make sure that wherever this document came from, there is human interference.
Correct. And once again, this is why I'm saying, hey, I would love for this to be on our council meeting, on our agenda for next month, with somebody that actually can write an ordinance that's not gonna totally screw it up like I would. But this is the framework at which I would like to see.
May I?
Yes.
So just a thought, y'all. An elected official is someone who cannot be removed by a city council. under any circumstances. And you're gonna come across laws that say they can. They can't. If you want to remove an elected official, you have to get a judge to do so, typically by the prosecutor filing something, ask the judge to remove somebody. Very rare. In Arkansas, we just believe that once someone's elected, they stay elected until the people put someone else in that office. And so the trend, and it's very, very clear trend in Arkansas and most states, is with regard to elected officials in positions that would have financial or record keeping or some kind of administrative position, you want to have someone who you can hire and supervise do that. Because if you're an elected official, and we have a marvelous clerk here in Lowell, Arkansas. When our marvelous clerk decides, I don't want to do this anymore, you're going to get a clerk elected. You don't know who that is. And so once they take that position with all of the powers and responsibilities over things, they may say, well, I'm going to lock my doors and keep all the records inside, because that's how I interpret this. I'm the keeper of the records. Nobody gets them unless I give them to them. This happens across the state of Arkansas all the time.
So
and then when that person gets replaced, they change the ordinance so that, like ours does, it complies with state law, but allows for a professional finance person, a professional records person, a professional HR person to be hired if the city council wants to finance those positions. And then if someone says, I don't want to do this job anymore, I want to go my own way, or I've got a political beef, with the mayor, let's say, you can discipline that person or remove the person who you hired. You can't with an elected official. And that's why the trend is more towards the elected official doing exactly what they're supposed to do by state law. And then you have people to help who are paid as employees. And that's the current trend. I think you'd find that.
Well, couldn't the same thing be said about any elected position? So the mayor's in charge of admin. If there was a disagreement with the mayor and he said, I'm going to lock the doors and keep all the records,
absolutely,
he could direct his staff to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So that argument really doesn't fly.
It does, and here's why. With the form of government, if you said we're only at the mayor the powers that they're provided by state law, just like you did the clerk. Yeah, the mayor is the chief law enforcement officer, the mayor is the contracting officer, the mayor executes the budget, the mayor supervises all the employees. That's in the state law. You can't change it. If you don't want to have a mayor, you would change the form of government and have a city administrator or a city manager. And so you have that option as a city that requires an election, to change the form of government, but it's always sort of in the air. People are going, I'd rather run this city like a business and hire someone who's a pro at it. And so you can do that.
You could. However, the argument still stands. You're talking about different forms of government. We're not addressing those forms of government. We're addressing what we have now.
Yes. In other words, to follow state law, which I think is required, you can't take duties away from a mayor. So if your mayor decides, I'm not going to come to work anymore, right? People are stuck with that mayor, right? You can't change that mayor unless you get a prosecutor to prosecute for nonfeasance or at the next election. You don't have to do that with other elected positions. You're able to control that possibility, which occurs pretty frequently across the state, especially when heads start butting. A lot of times, a mayor and a clerk get elected together as best friends. A lot of times, that ends within about a year and a half, and then everything starts to get really ugly, and the city is consumed by that. And you can avoid that possibility by sort of following the modern trend like we have now.
We
get a
get
city
this
clerk
position.
who's really able and has a lot of time and wants to do a lot. You can, you're permitted to, under the current state ordinance, they can do more and more. But you've got professionals to handle things like finance. You've got professionals to handle things like HR. You have professionals to handle things like, records and such.
So to meet in the middle, would we be able to at least put this on the agenda, and that would give us time to pull from other cities to see how their stuff's running.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted you guys to sort of know what the trend is across the state.
I'm just trying to find a happy medium.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. And this is something that we did years ago that I really feel that has altered the city of Lowell a little bit. The other thing, Mr. Mayor, that I'd like to talk to you about, we had something come up through the Planning Commission. We were trying to appoint a commissioner, and Ms. Davis had said that we were having problems with people actually showing up for the Planning Commission. We now have a Planning Commissioner that is the second time around is in breach of the bylaws of, in a 6-month period of time, not attending 5 or more meetings. So he has missed 10 meetings in the last 2 years, and he's now, both times, he had a time period in which it was 5 in a 6-month period, and he's now, as of last night, reached another 5 in a 6-month period. I want to know if we're planning on taking action on this due to the fact that he is grossly not performing his duties.
I will discuss it with the chairman of the Planning Commission.
And get back with us?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I have something else.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to pass these around as well. Give council some time to read as well. It's a proposed ordinance. I have 10 of those.
Holy cow.
Sorry, Liz, I didn't bring one necessarily for.
You know, Tom.
Oh, we'll see.
Okay. What this does is address some of the concerns that I've heard from many people in the city of Lowell, residents and members of the council. about the path that these buildings, the J.B. Hunt buildings, put us on, the acquisition. Not only is it $6 million purchase, not only is it the 20-something million investment, but it's probably upwards of $35 to $45 million for the entire plan, including the firehouse, demolition, everything, the training facilities, everything. This would take us off that track and not bankrupt the city, as is this path we're on. Open to discussion. Because a bankrupt city is ripe for annexation. And as of now, we don't have that 40-something million. We have, every liquid cent we have is something around 42 million, if I remember right. We don't have $46 million in reserves, as was stated to the media.
So is your intent to add this to the next council meeting?
I would move that we vote on this as is.
Has the city attorney reviewed this or seen this before?
I have not seen it before this evening.
Okay, then now I will not, I'm not inclined to take any action on this tonight without him reviewing this completely.
I'll be open to it.
You would first of all have to amend the agenda to add this, and that hasn't been done.
Not tonight.
So you wrote this yourself?
Mayor, what's the latest status of the property? Where are we at on the two buildings?
The properties have been purchased. I believe IT, we've got utilities established on that side, and PD has begun moving in on their side of things.
Do we have a handle yet on upcoming expenditures this year that we expect to
No,
make space usable?
the space is usable as is. There are modifications for bathrooms that would need to take place, but we understand council has no appetite to do anything, especially in light of this. So most staff understand that and are going to just take things as is.
Let's be clear, some city council don't have the appetite.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, you said the utilities have been established, so that's in both buildings?
Yes, ma'am.
And the PD is moving in, is that the entire police department or?
Right now, CID has moved in.
CID.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the evidence and all that stuff? Is that?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No. We're
So it has to be secured.
just staff that were in overflow that needed additional space had to move over so that they had the space that they could move over and have a workable area.
So that takes them out of splitting offices so far, right?
Yes.
Where is the funding coming from for the utilities?
Out of the current budget.
So what happens when you're running funding from the utilities in this building and the police department, and you're doing the other two buildings, and you go over?
We'll see what at that point, sir.
Don't we feel, okay, I have I'm gonna piggyback off of this,
Yes,
since we're
ma'am.
all here and we're all in quorum, I guess. Tom, would you be able to provide me any clarification on the email I sent a month ago, regarding the allocation of the $100,000 for the security systems.
There was no allocation of $100,000.
The resolution that we passed said that we were going to start the bidding process, we were going to be reaching out, and that you had executive authority with the $100,000. But I would like to ask Tom, you told me you're not legal.
Right, I'm not, but there is no allocation of funding.
So where does that stand? Because my question is, we were told that these buildings were going to be torn down.
Yes.
So if we are moving forward trying to upgrade security systems for something that is not going to be there any longer, I just want to know, have we looked to see if, from the MBL report we were given, there was no discussion on there of security upgrades or anything like that. So I would just like to ask that that be brought back to us for us to decide.
It has to be, because since there's no funding. We have to provide bids to council for council to consider and to appropriate funding for that. So I believe most of your questions were answered in the actual resolution itself. It directed staff to obtain bids and bring it back to council.
Yeah, Emily, I'm sorry, I just don't know the admin part of like what's being spent on what. Doesn't really come across my desk, so I'm happy to go over the resolution with you anytime. But as far as like what is being done by admin with the plans and what, I just have no.
Is there any purpose of us having that resolution at that point then, since these are being torn down? Because at the time that this was discussed and we were doing this, we had not purchased the J.B. Hunt buildings yet. So I was just curious, are we still taking bids? What are we?
We have the bids, and we'll actually probably present them at the July meeting. So you guys can look and review those and make a determination on what council would like to do.
So it would be bids for J.B. Hunt though?
Well, it has a mixture of, I believe, is it just J.B. Hunt, or is it a couple other, there's a mixture of, because there are cameras not just here, but over there as well. So I believe a mixture of both.
Because when we were told all of this, we were told that all of those cameras were up to date and worked perfectly fine. So I'm just not.
Those cameras are, yes, but there's also security, door security systems, and a couple other things that go into play.
So Emily, did you get an answer to your question?
I'm not going to get an answer to my questions. It's okay.
I can't hear you.
I'm not going to get an answer to my questions. That's fine.
Your question is, do we have is the money being spent for the $100,000? Is that right?
Not if it's being spent. I'm asking what's the purpose of the resolution if we're tearing those buildings down? The point when I presented it, it was for the police buildings. We were told it could not just be police, it had to be changed to municipal buildings. So it had to include other buildings. And then we moved forward with the purchase. So now we no longer need the cameras over here if we're tearing those buildings down. But in the MBL report we were provided, all the background information we were given, the people who all came up here and said what they said, there was not one singular discussion of upgrading anything over there. There was no mention of us needing cameras. There was nothing mentioned in there. So if we no longer need the cameras, I would like to dissolve or whatever we do to a resolution at that capacity. I'm new to this as well, but there's no point for bids at that point if this building doesn't exist. We have the proper camera structure from what we were told. Is where I was going.
Nothing with the resolution will happen after we present bids. If we do take no action on the bids, then the resolution itself goes away.
Perfect.
And that's going to be presented in July.
Yep, we'll present your bids.
I do have a question though. You mentioned door access.
You have door access here.
Yep, but this was on cameras, correct? So
Door access also have camera access, so they're, instead of cameras going up, they actually have cameras on the actual keypads now. So it's a 2-for-1
Okay.
system.
Emily, does that answer your question? No,
so the bids that are going out are for JB Hunt, correct? They
The-
would
the
not be for
bids-
building
The
where
bids
you're
are for the municipal buildings in totality.
But you asked the question if any of the money has been spent,
There is no money to be spent.
because it hasn't been allocated, okay.
And that's what we'll discuss in July is the bids that came back for those things.
Mayor, has there been any sort of project plan developed for the new buildings, basically clearly detailing, line by line, expected needs, projected cost, and a time frame that they would be needed? 'Cause I think that would be helpful for all of us to understand, looking if it's a 3-year plan, if it's, whatever time frame. These are the things that need to be touched. This is the time frame they need to be addressed. This is the projected cost.
That was the next part of our project with MBO, I believe, Chief Watkins, is that not correct? And they have a contract to come and actually start that with us. I'm happy to present that and have them, discuss what that is at the next council meeting.
Yeah, I think if we had that, if we had a project plan and understood what was in front of us and what were the projected and the time frame and so forth, I think that would help ease a lot of just the questions. I won't say concerns, because I don't think it's going to ease the concerns, but I think it would ease the questions that I think a lot of people have.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Do you have one more question on that? Is this the same company that had given us the information before?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, so then this is just throwing it out here. When she came and spoke last time, she kept saying that, yes, we can do it in phases, but it's cheaper if we do it all at once. So,
At this point, she will determine what is going to be done. You got a 30,000-foot view, now you're trying to drill things down to actual costs. So the numbers become a little more real versus a lot more of a very large estimate.
And would that be for just what's in here, or also for the other follow-on phases, like new firehouses, new other buildings that aren't part of this purchase?
It's phased, so it can definitely go like for different parts of the buildings. If it's the new firehouse, if it's part of his training center addition, there are different phases of that project. So there are different cost segments for each, depending upon where you're pushed to.
Okay, and those would be included in this?
If so, council requested for them to move forward in that part of the contract, yes.
Okay. Well, that would be very helpful to know those numbers as well.
Okay, and then that's something that we'll let Chief Watkins let Audie know.
Go back to earlier, were you asking for this to be on next month's council?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Any other items for discussion? Mudtown Days, it was muddy, but the kids had a blast. Fireworks still went off. Bands were amazing. I appreciate everyone for coming out. The tractor pull was amazing.
It's a car with a jet engine. That was so cool.
Appreciate everyone coming out. Appreciate all our volunteers for helping.
You weren't in the pageant, were you?
And we're already starting planning for next year.
I won.
Eric won, yeah.
I won the muddiest Mudtown.
So, you want to help volunteer plan for next year, please let Karen know. We're already starting. Outside of that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Any objections? Seeing none, we are adjourned 9:21.
Ken, so you